Most people believe that rich people simply have more money than everyone else. That's not true. The real difference isn't the amount of money they possess. It's how they fundamentally think about money itself. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how different that thinking is and why this mental shift matters more than almost anything else in your financial life. My name is Lucas from Lucas Invests. Here's what makes this topic extremely important. The way you currently think about money is quietly determining your entire financial future, whether you will build real wealth over time or remain stuck in the same exhausting cycle that keeps millions of hardworking people trapped for decades. The financial industry has zero interest in you understanding this difference. They make far more money when you continue thinking like the average middle-class consumer and keep purchasing the products and lifestyles they carefully designed for that exact mindset. Think about this for a second. Two people can earn almost identical salaries for 20 or even 30 years. One person retires broke, stressed, and still dependent on a paycheck at 65. The other becomes a millionaire with real freedom and options in life. The difference was never about luck, higher intelligence, better education, or even how much they earned. It came down entirely to how they thought about every single dollar that entered their bank account. Now, there's one core idea I want you to keep in your mind for the entire video because it explains almost everything you will hear today. Rich people don't see money primarily as something to spend on pleasures or even just to save for a rainy day. They see money as a powerful tool whose main job is to work harder than they do. That single mental shift influences every financial decision they make from that point forward. Let me show you exactly what this difference looks like in real life by introducing two different people who earn similar incomes. First, meet Marcus. Marcus is 42 years old, lives in Chicago, and earns $130,000 a year as a senior manager. He owns a nice house in a good suburb, drives two relatively new cars, sends his kids to solid schools, and takes the family on decent vacations twice a year. From the outside, Marcus looks successful, comfortable, and like he has his life together. He has the classic successful professional appearance. But Marcus thinks about money exactly the same way most people do. To him, money is income that exists to be spent on improving his lifestyle and rewarding himself when he performs well at work. Whenever he receives a raise or a bonus, his first instinct is to upgrade something in his life: a newer car, better vacations, nicer restaurants, or more expensive gadgets. He sees money primarily as something meant to be consumed and enjoyed in the present moment. Now meet Tyler. Same age, same city, but he actually earns a little less, $115,000 a year. On the surface, Tyler looks completely ordinary and average. He drives a 5-year-old Honda, lives in a normal apartment, wears regular clothes, and doesn't draw any attention. Most people would never guess he is doing anything special with his money. But Tyler thinks about money in a completely opposite way. He doesn't try to look rich at all. Instead, he treats every single dollar as capital whose only real purpose is to generate more money in the future. When Tyler gets a raise, he doesn't upgrade his lifestyle. He upgrades his assets. He automatically directs the majority of any extra income straight into investments before lifestyle inflation has any chance to touch it. By the way, if you're getting real value from this kind of direct and honest breakdown, hit subscribe right now. Otherwise, YouTube's algorithm may stop showing you videos like this in the future. Let's go much deeper and examine how these two completely different mindsets play out over many years. When Marcus receives a $10,000 raise, he immediately feels richer and more successful. Within just a few months, he upgrades his car lease, books a more luxurious family vacation, and begins dining out at better restaurants much more frequently. His monthly expenses quietly rise to match his new income level. He feels good about his progress, but in reality his actual net worth barely moves forward. When Tyler receives the same size raise, he feels almost no emotional change about the extra money. He has trained his mind to see it differently. On the very same day the raise hits his account, he automatically sends 70% of it into his brokerage account. To Tyler, that raise isn't spending money. It is future freedom money quietly working in the background while he sleeps. This is the first major difference in how rich people think about money. They deliberately and consistently separate their lifestyle expenses from their income. Their day-to-day lifestyle is based on what they actually need to live comfortably, not on what they currently earn. That intentional gap between what they make and what they spend becomes their most powerful wealth-building engine. The second difference is even more important and powerful. Rich people constantly think in terms of return on every single dollar, not just the face value of the dollar itself. Marcus looks at $5,000 sitting in his account and automatically thinks, "What nice thing can I buy with this money?" Tyler looks at the exact same $5,000 and asks a completely different question. How much money can this $5,000 make for me while I sleep? That one simple question completely changes the game, because money that is put to productive work compounds over time and builds real momentum. Money that is spent or left in low-return accounts either disappears forever or slowly loses purchasing power. Rich people also understand a deeper truth that most people never fully accept. Time is the most valuable and expensive thing you can ever purchase with money. Marcus uses his money to buy more material things and more experiences in the present. Tyler uses his money strategically to buy back his own time in the future. Every investment he makes is actually a deliberate trade, trading today's dollars for future freedom and options. Here's where it becomes really uncomfortable for most viewers. Many people secretly believe that if they could just earn significantly more money, all their financial stress and problems would automatically disappear. Rich people know this is a dangerous and expensive illusion. They have personally watched many high-income earners remain broke or constantly stressed for decades simply because their thinking about money never evolved. High income is temporary. The way you think about money is permanent and compounds over time. Another crucial difference. Rich people are perfectly comfortable being bored with their money. They don't need their investments to feel exciting, trendy, or emotionally stimulating. They want them to be reliable, predictable, and effective over long periods of time. Marcus is always chasing the next hot stock tip or once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Tyler simply keeps buying low-cost, broad market index funds month after month and year after year. In the long run, boring almost always wins. Rich people also view risk in the opposite way from the average person. Marcus believes that avoiding risk means never losing any money in the short term. Tyler understands that the biggest risk in life is staying financially dependent and trapped forever. He is willing to take smart, calculated risks on proven assets that grow over time, but he completely refuses to take unnecessary risks on lifestyle inflation and status-driven purchases. Let me make this difference crystal clear with actual numbers so the impact really lands. Assume both Marcus and Tyler start investing at age 30 with $30,000 already saved. Over the following years, they both receive consistent raises. Here's what happens based purely on how they think about money. Marcus increases his lifestyle every time his income grows. After lifestyle creep, he typically manages to invest only around $500 a month on average. Tyler keeps his lifestyle expenses relatively stable right from the beginning and consistently invests $1,800 a month. Assuming a conservative 7% average annual return compounded over 30 years, Marcus ends up with approximately $850,000 by age 60. Tyler ends up with well over $2.4 million. The massive difference wasn't caused by Tyler earning dramatically more money. It happened almost entirely because of how he chose to think about every single paycheck from the very start. Now let's return to Marcus. Marcus is approaching 45, and he is beginning to feel a quiet but persistent anxiety that something in his financial picture isn't adding up correctly. He makes good money and lives comfortably, but he still feels trapped and vulnerable. One unexpected health issue or sudden job change could hurt him badly. In the next few years, Marcus faces a critical choice. He can continue thinking about money the same way he always has, as something to enjoy, display, and reward himself with immediately. Or he can make one fundamental and lasting shift in his mindset and begin thinking the way rich people do. That shift doesn't require him to suddenly earn a much higher salary. It only requires him to stop viewing money as a reward for hard work and start seeing it as a dedicated worker that should never sleep. Rich people don't work for money. They make their money work for them, and they make it work harder than they ever could themselves. The most encouraging part is this. You don't need to already be rich in order to start thinking like rich people. You can begin making that powerful mental shift today, starting with your next paycheck, your next raise, or even with the very next dollar that lands in your account. From this moment forward, Train yourself to ask a new and better question every time money comes in. How can this money start working for me instead of simply disappearing? Change that single question and your entire financial life will slowly but surely begin to transform. Hit subscribe if you want more straightforward videos that reveal how money actually works at a much deeper level. Because at the end of the day, how you think about money will ultimately matter far more than how much money you currently have in your account. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.